Let's talk about some XREF issues. So the team for Sweeney has been really, really great about being diligent and putting their stuff where it's supposed to go in their drawing on their TGP so that it all XREFs together nicely without anybody having to move anything. But when someone who is coming into the process that hasn't been working in these files goes and tries to look at it, it appears that there are things missing. So if I spin around here, I can see some of the architecture, but not all of it. And it's not exactly clear to me why some of it tends to work and some of it tends to not. But that's not really what the point of this video is. So let's go through and let me show you just how to fix it. The easiest thing is to go in and just tell it where it's supposed to be looking. Typically what's wrong is that the folders, for whatever reason, AutoCAD can't figure out where it is. It's kind of like lost in the woods, and you just have to tell it how to get back onto the right road. And once you tell it where the road is, it can figure out all the addresses on the road. So we're going to go to select path. I got there by right-clicking onto the file with the question mark. And I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to look here at this saved path to tell me where to go find it. So tonsorials, platform and stairs, within there, tonsorial, within that, tonsorial archive. I'm going to click open, and you'll notice that it just popped that thing in, and it popped up this other menu, or this other question box where it says, would you like to apply the same path to other missing references? So basically it's saying, hey, do you want to use this street as the street for everything else? And once you've done that, you can say, well, yes, I do. And it should go through and fix it. So let's just click yes. And look at that. We are fixed right here, right here, right here. We're fixed. All of that has loaded beautifully. Great. Now, let me look at this one. So the one issue is that this is now an absolute reference. So I'm going to switch this back to relative, because a relative path, like if I make this exactly this, if somebody else goes into the file, and I've saved this file and that's now saved, then this is now a broken link for everyone else. So make sure that if you change something, make sure that you're just going back to a relative path. And the way that you can tell is that this one starts with users and then, the person, and then, a bunch of other stuff. The relative path will start typically with either a slash or a ... Let's talk about that for a second. So I've shown you how to fix the thing. I would just go through and do that with all of them basically. But let's talk about some of the thought behind it and the logic of how the computer is looking for information, or this program is looking for information, so that hopefully we can speed this up in the future. So if you look here, this relative path can be, it looks pretty familiar, but then you have this like ... slash situation at the beginning. And let me talk about what that is. So that's just instructions for the computer for how to find this file relative to my current location. So if you think about this as like giving someone directions, you can think of this as saying, like, go out the front door and then turn right so that you're on the correct street, so that you're on the street, that kind of thing. So this is saying go up a folder. ... means go up one folder. So let's take a look at our folder structure and let's find the file that we were just talking about. So let's go to this tonsorial archive. Oh, actually, no, we're going to Sweeney TGP2. So I go to TGP, I go to Sweeney TGP2. So right now I'm in this folder. The ... says go back a folder. Okay, so I'm here, that's where this file is. Now I'm going to go to here. So now I'm in the drafting folder and I have access to all of these folders. So then it's saying within that folder that you are now in, I'm in this one, open 100 tonsorial platform and stairs, then open 100 tonsorial, then within that you should find 100-tonsorial archive.dwg right there. So it's giving the program instructions on how to get to where it needs to go based on where you are right now. And for whatever reason, this breaks down really badly with Google Drive, specifically Google Drive as we're using it. I've used Google Drive where we have shared folders, and that works. This works almost seamlessly, but or at least it used to. And honestly, this changes and fluctuates like every time Google Drive does an update. How it behaves changes a little bit. It's a little bit annoying, but there you go. That's what that is. I want to also check and make sure that all of this is indeed, yeah, all of this is still relative references, which they are. This one, for whatever reason, it can't find it. So let's go take a look at this one and figure out why doing that action didn't work. So I'm looking for 110 replate 612. I'm going to say select new path, and I'm going to go here. And just for, navigation's sake, I'm going to do the same thing that I'm going to follow the instructions that this relative path is giving me. So it's saying go up a folder so that I'm here, go across a folder to tonsorial platform and stairs, and then 110 stairs platform, 110 stairs slash, that's the problem right there, that slash. Okay, so the reason that that's a problem is because we're talking, the programs are talking about two different, what am I trying to say? The programs are speaking two different languages. In Google Drive world, and apparently in Mac world, I can put a slash in a file type. In AutoCAD world, which is an older world, I cannot put a slash in a file name or a folder name. So that means that AutoCAD is going in there and looking explicitly for 110 stairs space platform. And when it gets to here, it sees 110 stairs slash platform. That small change is enough for this to not know where to find it. So I'm just going to tell it where to find it. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to see what happens. It changed the path. I'm going to change that again to a relative path. Let's see if it does it. It did. And you'll notice here that it put some other thing in there instead of a slash. That's because in AutoCAD world, the slash, and indeed in the world that existed up until very recently, the slash could not be used within a file name. Isn't that fascinating? It's a good reminder that computers are incredibly stupid and have a lot of processing power. It's like having all the power in the world with no common sense. That's what a computer is. Let's take a look at this one and figure out what's going on with it. Okay, so this is ever so slightly different. And it's different because this is an attachment to this. So what does that mean? So there's different ways that you can XREF things into AutoCAD, into a file. You can do an attachment or an overlay. I think is there another option? No, just that. So you can either do it as an attachment or an overlay. You can think of the attachment versus overlay as the difference between a staple and a paperclip. A staple permanently attaches the attached file to the main document. So let's say that I have a piece of paper that is representative of 300-SL staircase, blah, blah, blah. I have attached 100 tonsorial as an attachment to that. So those are stapled together, permanently attached, semi-permanently attached. That means that if I then go hand this piece of paper, this 300 file, to someone else, they're also going to get 100 tonsorial. And if the connection between those two files has a problem, I'm going to lose this. So maybe I have a rusty staple. I'm going to lose it. Okay. The difference between an attachment and an overlay is that The overlay is like a paperclip. It's temporarily attached. They're not permanently attached to each other. So that when I go and hand that 300 piece of paper to whoever's going to use it next, it doesn't carry 100 tonsorial with it. They're not permanently attached. This can be really useful if you have a really complicated unit that, maybe you've split it into multiple files because your computer doesn't want to handle all of that drawing in it, which is a completely legitimate thing. Like if you're building something really, really large and you've designed this small component and that small component is in its own file, it's super, super useful to be able to then take that small component and then just attach it to another one and not have to worry about messing it up or losing it, whatever. Like it's in its own file and I can't break it. The challenge is that sometimes, and this is why I strongly recommend always doing overlays instead of attachments. The problem is that if you then XREF something back into your own drawing, so let's say that I'm working in 700 window wall, and I have XREF'd Sweeney TGP2 into my drawing, but Sweeney TGP2 has 700 window wall XREF'd into it, that creates a circular reference, and AutoCAD doesn't like it. So you would then have to unload or detach that attachment and then move on and resave it and whatnot. So the way to avoid that is by not putting it as an attachment, but as an overlay. And then if someone needs the architecture from something else, they can bring that into their own drawing as another overlay so that you have multiple things that you can control. It also is easier to control relative to hiding it. Like let's say that I need it for a little bit and then I don't need it anymore. I can just go in and unload it and I don't have to look at it anymore, which is fantastic. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. Oh, let me show you one other thing. No, I'm going to show you that other thing in a different video. Okay, let me know if you have questions. Hope you're having a good summer. Okay, bye.